Hello, hello, hello. Happy Tuesday. Hi, Duncan. So Marina is running a little late because we wanted to get a sold item to the customer. So she actually had to drive to UPS to make sure the customer gets the package on time. So it's going to be Duncan and me for a little bit, and then she's going to join shortly. How's it going? How was Sydney so far? You mentioned, I know it's summer there. How hot is it in Sydney? So Duncan has a question, and he's saying, do you list more on eBay or Etsy? We actually list more on eBay. However, we sell more items on Etsy. That's a great question. Hi, Bill. How are you? How's everything going? Um, I am doing okay. I think this year we are trying to do a little bit more of a self-care, and shout out to Thrifty206. She recommended a plan to kind of set a very set schedule, so to make sure you kind of stay consistent. So I'm trying to do that. I have a set schedule, and Tuesday, Thursdays are my workout days, and Saturdays are my workout days. So I'm trying to stay consistent. And I went on the bike, and it's my second time going on the bike this year. So hopefully it'll stay consistent. And yeah, so that's that. Um, Bill said sales are not too bad. Good. I'm glad to hear that. So January is supposed to slow down a little bit. Our week was okay last week. I still see people shopping, so maybe people are bored and they're still home, and or maybe they have a little bit of extra money for not going out to spend money. So that's great. That's good to know. Duncan said he got sunburned. Did you go to the beach? The beaches in Sydney are so beautiful. If you guys have not visited Australia, Sydney, Australia, that is certainly going to be on, I think it's going to be on Marina's bucket list. It's so beautiful. So you guys go to Australia. It's COVID free, right? Right now, in a way, I think almost free. So we're going to get started. Let me share my presentation. Okay. How was you guys' sales? Did you guys sell a lot? Do you have any favorite item you want to share? So if you guys don't know, we usually do this every day that's live. And now we are going to do it twice a week, on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And on Tuesdays, we usually go through our sales recap. And then we kind of talk a little bit about BOLOs and talk about whatever topic we want to talk about. On Thursday, we're going to interview Mar. We actually met Mar at Posh Fest 2 years ago. She's from Canada, and we're going to interview her about reselling. She has some really awesome clothes that we want to share with you guys. So Duncan said 29 degrees Aussie weather, which is hot. 29, yeah, 29's pretty hot actually. Perth beaches are pretty as well. So Bill has been to Perth. I have never been there, so I wonder what it's like over there. Um, and Duncan mentioned we have some COVID cases, but not many. That's really good to know. Hopefully you guys can keep it under control. Our cases, especially California, it's quite bad. Every 8 minutes someone dies from COVID, so it's not good at all, the situation here. So we really try to stay home. I mean, we've been staying home since March. All right, I'm gonna share my screen, and I wanna make sure I could see your comments, because when I projected, I can't see it, so now I can see it. All right, let's get started. So Duncan said, sold 1764 letter for $200 yesterday, had more sales today. And then Bill said, Juicy Couture convertible tuxedo tails coat, super happy, yay. Did you get those from sourcing at the bins? Where did you get those items, Bill? And Duncan, I don't know where you get your items. That's really like those are really rare items. So do share, do share. Okay, let's get started. I'm gonna share. Let's see. All right, sales recap and BOLO of the week. Okay. I hope you guys can see my screen. I'm gonna get started. So, Duncan said I'm not telling where I get my items. So let's get started. So sales recap. And today, you know, we're going to talk about some BOLO items, vintage shoes. Just we picked a couple of brands to talk about. So sales recap. Last week, week of January 4th, our profit was $825.53, and our total gross was $1,286.80. Again, Etsy was the winner. We've been consistently doing pretty well on Etsy, and this is just one store. We do have a second store that's also doing pretty well. So Etsy sales, we're at $601.33. Poshmark $63.55, Mercari $88.77, and eBay $23.86. So Etsy is the winner, Mercari second place. Poshmark, we had quite a bit of activity. So we did share our closet more often. So sharing really worked and relisting. And then eBay has been pretty slow for us. So, you know, we're still trying to figure out why. So let's see. So Duncan said, whoa, Etsy sales are killing it. eBay sales pretty lame. Yeah, you know, I think Marina and I are gonna kind of go back and look at our listings on eBay. There's gotta be something going on. So we did sell something this week, but you know, we want to look at that. We're trying to figure out, is it free shipping, not free shipping? Not sure. So hopefully we'll solve that. We do have a lot of listings there. And we do want to share some of our favorite sold items. So first one, these are, you know, vintage Revere ware, 11 pieces, pots and pans. The cost was $61.09, and we sold this for $288. Believe it or not, a lot of people collect pots and pans, and this is something I learned through reselling, because if I go to a garage sale, if I go to an estate sale, I would never pick up any pots, ever. And as you know, as we're getting more educated from the reselling community and through our research, people do collect and value pots and pans. And if you sell them as a set, if you take really nice photos, I think, you know, people are actually looking for them. So let's see, Duncan has a response and he says, you have to have something funny happening with your eBay store. Send me the store link. I will look if it does not look right. Yeah, so we have yet to do an audit on our eBay store. So I think that's our next step. Since it's the beginning of the year, I think it's a good way to kind of do like a quick audit on your sales last year and see what is not, you know, what's not working, what's working. So that's that. Now, this is our, so this is a Levi's denim Sherpa jacket. So this is another favorite sales of ours. This is brand new, the retail arbitrage, and we purchased this for $24.86 and sold this for $57.80. You know, obviously this is not a coat for Sydney right now, but a lot of people are shopping for winter jackets. And Sherpa is kind of like, you know, it kind of looks it makes you look hip and cool. And I think this style of jacket could last for a long time. Shout out to Irish Lux. Hello Noreen, welcome. How are you? All right, this next item, one of my favorite. So Girly Girl Hubs Bill has a question. What was the shipping cost for the cookware? Yikes. So Bill, great question. I do have to say it may seem expensive to ship the cookware. But if you go through, like even Etsy, they have a FedEx discount that they offer. It's not expensive at all. So that I think costs about 30 bucks. Not bad considering like there's so many things and the box is big. They do really, offer really good discounts with shipping. Plus, we do charge the customer shipping costs. So, and they cover our shipping supplies too. So, don't get intimidated by big items. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, now this next item is super cool. We value and love vintage board games. I have never ever seen this board game before, but someone purchased it. This was sold on Mercari, actually. This is a vintage 1979 Las Vegas junket board game, and we sourced this along with many other board games for $6, and this was sold for $39. I have no clue how this game works, but I'm sure somebody did, and that's why they decided to, to purchase this game. As you can see, I have a little trying to open the door. Okay. This next one is super awesome. Just hang on 1 minute. Hang on 1 minute. Hang on 1 minute. Okay, I'm back. I'm so sorry, guys. All right. This next item is super cool. I think you guys would appreciate it if you guys like vintage clothes. We got this from an online estate sale, and this is actually a like an Aztec. It has like this Aztec pattern on the top of the button-down shirt. It's a button-down shirt, and it has the pattern on the pocket and the pattern where the buttons are. Super chic, and we actually got this for $1 pretty much, or even 50 cents. We got it with a bunch of other clothes for very little. And we sold this for $28. So let's see. Duncan said Marina is hiding in the kitchen secretly eating pizza. That's hilarious. She actually just got back. So we'll see if she can join. All right. This next item, copper hammered pot. So, what I realized, I absolutely love copper pots and pans. I don't know why. I just feel like every time I watch like movies, people with really expensive homes, they have like copper pots and pans. So I picked this up from an estate sale, got this for $6, sold this pretty fast for $29. We had another one that sold last week. So my recommendation is if you guys do see copper pots and pans, pick them up. People still buy them. I mean, you can see from this photo that it's a little beat up, but people value copper pots. This next one I absolutely love. So Duncan said the copper pot shipping is $100. It's very tiny. The picture looks big, but it's kind of like it's a little this size, very tiny. So it's super cute. This next item, I also picked this up from an estate sale. So YSL is Yves Saint Laurent. It's a very high-end brand. It's not a vintage hat, it's a vintage tie. It's made out of wool. And I picked this up for $1, and we sold this for $28. Super vintage looking, and it's got a very subtle embroidered YSL logo in the center of the tie. I absolutely love this look. So I wish Lux Noreen has a comment. I've been watching some online auctions, not eBay. Auction Ninja in my area sometimes has some great clothing and home good pieces that you can get inexpensively. Yes, online auctions, guys, I think are really awesome. But the trick is really put a reminder on your phone, because you need to make sure you're the last person to bid on the item before the auction ends. That is really the tricky part about auction. So maybe have two computers, maybe have your phone to make sure that you do get the item when you bid. So those are some of our favorite items. And then we're going to talk about BOLO of the week. So what we want to do is every week, we talk about items that you should look for, be on the lookout, that could bring you some good money. So this week we have picked out a couple of brands of vintage shoes. The first one is Converse, and then we're going to talk about Air Jordan, Christian Louboutin, and Dr. Martens. The reason why I picked Christian Louboutin is because, people always talk about Nike. They always talk about Air Jordan, and we want to make sure people value some of the high heels and the women's shoes too. So I do pick that brand. So Duncan is asking what BOLO means again. It means be on the lookout when you go shopping, go sourcing. Look out for these brands. And in this case, look out for the specific shoe that I'm going to take you through. So what we want to do is really also go over some interesting fun facts, right? I find this stuff really interesting, the history of how brands are discovered. So first of all, Converse. Converse was founded actually in 1908. Super old. 1908, that's a long time ago. So there is a chance that you could find an antique Converse if it still exists. So this company was founded by Marquis Mills Converse in Massachusetts. And the company started out as a specialist in winterized rubber sole shoes and boots. And they were actually a subsidiary of Nike since 2003. During World War II, Converse shifted its manufacturing to make footwear for the military. Fun fact, super cool fun fact, is Converse used to make footwear for the military. Isn't that so cool? I did not know that. Very, very cool fact, actually. So today, the company portfolio includes Converse, Cons, Chuck Taylor, All-Star, Jack Purcell, One Star, Star Chevron, and so forth. So my takeaway is Converse used to make shoes for military in World War II. Here's our first one. Our first one is a Jack Purcell Converse. So Jack Purcell is a classic canvas and rubber sneaker originally designed for badminton and known for its large rubber toe cap. And the shoe was first created in 1935 for the B.F. Goodrich Company of Canada, and Converse purchased the trademark rights in 1970. Now Purcell is a popular casual sneaker. If you look at the picture on the right, there are 3 pairs of the same model. It's blue in color. It has a white rubber toe cap. And these are sold for a lot of money. The first one was sold for $1,136. Second pair, $1,000. Third pair, $900. And there is a white version that was sold for $417. So Jack Purcell, when you go to estate sales or go to any garage sales, people are getting rid of their old shoes. Look for these ones, Jack Purcell, Purcell. And we also did a quick sales and analysis through Terapeak, which is a tool from eBay. And the total sales of Converse shoes, believe it or not, was $372,340 last year on eBay. That's a lot of shoes. So Converse is a great brand. Of course, I mean, how can you miss Chuck Taylor, right? Chuck Taylor is like the signature line for Converse, and Chuck Taylor have been a reigning shoe brand since 1917, named after the basketball player Chuck Taylor, or Charles Chuck Taylor. All-Stars were exclusively worn by athletes until 1980, so now Chucks are more famous off the court than they ever were on, and worn mostly by artists, musicians, hipsters, celebrities. And Marina is here. Marina, did you ever own a pair of Chuck Taylor shoes?
Like the original. So first of all, hi everyone. Sorry, I don't know if I told you guys, but I had to run over a package that we almost forgot to ship today. So sorry about that. But yes, I did purchase a pair of the new editions from the 90s. So back in the 90s, these became really, really popular again. I don't know if you guys remember. Or maybe 2000s at this point, but it didn't, my foot is not skinny like a hot dog. I feel like when I look at these shoes, it reminds me of a hot dog. I don't know why, but they didn't feel comfortable. Like I think my foot feels well on in Vans, you know, because my foot's a little, I think, wider. But I think they look awesome, and I think I want to try it again. I want to try a pair again. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
These ones are from the 70s. So we've got two examples here. One was sold for $224 and the other one sold for $227. So I remember going to an estate sale and we saw one of these, but they priced it really high, so we didn't get it.
Yeah, 100%. I think too, we had just been starting at that time, but if these shoes are selling for like $225, even if they were pricing at 100, it might even be worth a flip. It may be, right? I recently saw on another reseller's Instagram account, he sold these Chuck Taylors for $400 on eBay. So
Wow,
these actually are a little bit on the low side.
that's awesome. Chuck Taylor. Okay, do you want to go through the next one?
Yeah, sure. So this is the third, you know, vintage type of Converse to be on the lookout for. It's called the Lewis Clark Brock, the Lou Brock Converse for short. So basically, it looks a little bit like a Chuck Taylor. I mean, they all have like the white tip. I definitely thought the very first pair that Michelle was talking about, the tip is super unique looking. They do look like, you know, not racquetball, but what's the sport they were made for?
Badminton?
They do look like they'd be like a badminton, like a interesting, you know, sports shoe. But anyway, these ones have two stripes on the side. They could be two white stripes on the side. Now these ones came from the 1940s. Well, sorry, not these ones. The person, Lewis Clark Brock, was born in 1939 and passed last year in September. He was an American professional baseball outfielder. He began his 19-year Major League Baseball career with the 1961 Chicago Cubs, but spent the majority of his big league career as a left fielder for the St. Louis Cardinals. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him at all. So that's where the shoe came from. As Michelle has here, these navy blue, they look in pretty good condition, sold for $300 plus dollars in shipping. The average sold price for these are $170. The ones that sold for $300 were from 1969. They were dead stock, so essentially they're new. And there's not a lot of sales. These are a little bit rare. So on eBay, there were only a total of 9 sales with last year.
Yeah. So these are big bolos. Almost unicorn.
Yeah, these are totally unicorns.
All right, we're jumping on to Air Jordan. I think, again, you know, as you know, like StockX, people just focus on sneakers. So there's a huge market for sneakers. So I do want to, you know, we do want to cover a couple of Air Jordans that could sell really well. So again, of course, you know, it's an American brand company produced by Nike. It was created for the Hall of Fame basketball players and 6-time NBA Finals MVP Michael Jordan. The original Air Jordan sneakers were produced for Michael Jordan in 1984 and released to public in 1985. So the shoes were designed for Nike by Peter Moore, Tinker Hatfield, and Bruce Kilgore. On the right is a quick little infographic that talks about all the Air Jordans that exist from 1984 through 2014. Super cool infographic. You could see the design from 84 and then 86, 87. So, you know, I think this is a good guide if you guys are shopping for vintage sneakers. This is a good guide so you know what year it's from. All right, so let's see. So here is the BOLO for Air Jordan. It's called 1985 Air Jordan 1. This is obviously the first pair of Air Jordan that exist. And as you could see, they, you know, when we did the search on eBay, a lot of them still exist. So I think a lot of people own this pair of shoes. So it's a red and white high top, I think you call it high top shoes. And the first one was sold for $1,800.
Red, white, and don't forget the black.
And the black
as well.
The Nike logo and a black shoelace. Some of them have white shoelaces. And they sold for about $1,800. So Air Jordan is really, you know, good brand to resell. And, you know, we did a search for Air Jordan, and it's crazy because last year there was a total of $1.8 million worth of Air Jordans sold on eBay.
Yeah, and something to keep in mind, because all of the comps that we're getting are from eBay, is that you know, if you sell shoes on eBay that are over $100, eBay will not, at this moment, they're not taking a commission, so you get to keep all of the commission. So so that's something to keep in mind with sneakers. So eBay's really been competing with other third-party sites like StockX and GOAT, with the whole, you know, getting sneakers sold there. So and yeah, and the funny thing too, though, is those are from 1985. So you really have to take a look in the tag and make sure they're the original ones, because there's a lot of new ones being produced that resemble these. They're super hot, you know. It's almost like, yeah, vintage is hot, and because it's so hard to find authentic vintage, you know, companies are reproducing vintage items. And so this is one of them.
Yep. Okay. Raina, you want to talk about this one?
Okay, sure. Yeah. So this is the Air Jordan 17. They look like, I mean, they're all basketball shoes essentially, right? So the Air Jordan 17 is, I mean, they have the comps here. One pair that looks like it's it's a dead stock. So dead stock essentially means it's brand new, right? It's just like, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but dead stock is going to be like, you know, a store didn't sell the shoes, so they had them left over, brand new in box, I believe. So it sold for $700. They're white with a little bit of, well, with black and a little blue. Another pair sold for $560 that are like a dark red and white, and they look brand new to me. I think they're also dead stock because they're on there. It's a similar picture to the first ones there. So lucky whoever found those. If you ever are able to get a hold of dead stock shoes, then lucky you.
Yeah, and the unique thing about the shoe is that it has a weird flap on top of the shoe, and the flap actually covers all the shoelaces. So very unique looking. And these ones that we see here on eBay come with a metal box. So this is certainly a collector's item. I don't think people would wear it unless you have many pairs of them. But yeah, Air Jordan 17.
Yeah, and the other thing I like is that eBay, it does have, I just saw this actually, but they have a little blue check mark that says authenticity guarantee, which is huge because there's definitely a lot of copycats out there when it comes to almost everything nowadays, even though it's illegal.
Yep. This next one is Air Jordan OVO. So this is another unique brand, and on eBay, you know, we've got two pairs, one for $1,715 and the other pair for $699. So Air Jordan OVO. This is actually, they're actually not vintage. They're actually new ones. So yeah, so I shouldn't have put this here, but it's Air Jordan OVO.
So wait, the last ones that we just did, were those new ones or vintage? Because I didn't see
vintage.
Those ones were vintage. They look vintage.
Yeah. All right. We're moving on to the next brand. Marina, would you like to go over this?
Yeah, of course. So it's Christian Louboutin. He is a French Egyptian fashion designer whose high-end stiletto footwear incorporates shiny red lacquered soles that have become his signature. Initially a freelance designer for fashion houses, he started his own shoe salon in Paris, France, with his shoes finding favor with celebrity clientele. He has partnered with other organizations for creative projects, including limited edition pieces, gallery exhibits, and a custom bar. His company has since branched out into men's footwear, handbags, fragrances, and makeup. So yeah, this is I mean, it's definitely a really high-end brand. But how long ago, Michelle, did he start his shoe salon in Paris?
I don't have the year here. You're right.
Yeah, was just wondering.
I believe, yeah, I don't have a year here, but certainly more than 20 years ago. So one thing we want to point out is pretty much if you do go sourcing, this is a brand that you should look for, Christian Louboutin. And especially if you see anything that is red in color, because they're known for that. So the pair of shoes should say Paris on it. These are, high-end shoes. And if you find them, we have some examples here. One sold for $280. It's a hot pink heels. Another pair sold for $299. Another pair for $175, and then $170. So as I mentioned, I don't want us to kind of just talk about men's shoes and sneakers. I think Christian Louboutin is also a great brand for you to go find.
Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, that would be it'd be very lucky to find a high-end brand like that. And I almost feel like even if it wasn't vintage, if you found that brand, you probably would sell it for at least $100. So the next one, which is a favorite, I definitely wore these in the 90s, Dr. Martens. Dr. Martens, also commonly known as Martens. Docs is a British footwear and clothing brand headquartered in Wollaston in the Wellingborough district of Northamptonshire, England. It says, while famous for their footwear, they also make a range of accessories, shoe care products, clothing bags, etc. In fact, like if you are a shoe reseller, a lot of shoe resellers recommend the Doc Marten polish to make any leather shoe look really, really nice, especially if it has like scuffs on it and all of that. In 2006, Griggs 1460 Dr. Martens Airwear boot was named in the list of British design icons, which included Concorde, Mini, the Mini Cooper, Jaguar E-Type, Aston Martin, DB5, Supermarine Spitfire. He was considered one of the top designers.
Yep.
in England. All right.
Okay, so this first one is Doc Martens floral pattern boots. These shoes are beautiful. I don't think I would wear them. They're basically a pair of Doc Marten boots with a lot of flower printed all over it. These are valuable. These came from 90s, and one was sold for $500, $450, and $300. So I think if you do come across Doc Martens, look for the ones that have all over printed on it. I think they tend to worth more. And we actually sold a pair 2 weeks ago. So Doc Martens is a great brand.
Those are so nice. I wouldn't mind getting a pair of the floral print. They're really, really beautiful. And then that was a comment from Girly Girl Style Hubs, Bill earlier. Hi, Bill. Look out for floral Doc Martens. Any floral docs sell for a ton. So he knew that one already.
Oh, wow. Good one, Bill.
Be on the lookout. Be on the lookout, everyone.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So these next ones here are just another pair of Doc Martens, but these are vintage ones from the 90s. So as I mentioned, back in the 90s, it was really popular to wear these. And so I don't see the comps on there, Michelle.
I know, the prices are hidden.
The prices are hidden. What did they sell for?
Hang on one second. I'm fixing it real quick. Let
Okay,
me
no
fix it.
problem. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, just let me do a couple shout outs and share some comments. So hi to Duncan, hi to Irish Looks Poshmark. Irish Looks Poshmark says, I've been watching some online auctions, not eBay. Auction Ninja in my area sometimes has some great clothing and home pieces that you can get expensively. Thanks for sharing that. We appreciate it. Okay, so the prices are available. So they're maroon in color. And these ones are the 12 eyelet, sorry, 14 and 20 eyelets. So like a lot of little holes for the laces. And they sold for $329.99. So if you could find some of the taller Doc Martens, they'll sell for a little bit more. There's another one. They're also just like high tops, and they sold for $280. And the 14 eyelets sold for $330, and there was a 20 eyelet one that sold for $300.
Yeah.
So now the average sold price for Doc Martens right now is $90, about $90. And on eBay there were $61,800 in sales last year, or within the last year.
That's right. All right, this last one. These are called Doc Martens Union Jack. So these are super cool. They have a UK flag on the shoe. And these were sold for $260, between $250 to $260. And so I think anything with a British flag too, printed on a shoe would be worth money.
100%, yes.
So, and I think that is all, but we do want to show something really cool with you guys. Two more fun facts here. So here we have these shoes called Nike Moon shoes. They're actually sold. They're currently selling on the auction company Sotheby's. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Wait, where is
Auction.
it? Where is the name? I don't see it.
Nike Moon shoe. You see?
No,
it?
the auction company. Where does it say
Yeah.
that?
No. This is how I found it. It's kind of like Christie, but it's called Sotheby's. It's a real estate company too.
Sotheby's.
Sotheby's.
Like
There you go. So the Nike Moon shoe is one of the most significant artifacts in the history of the multi-billion-dollar athletic brand. One of the small groups of pairs known to exist. This Moon shoe is a handmade running shoe designed by Nike co-founder and legendary University of Oregon track coach Bill Bowerman. This pair of shoes is listed at $200,000. The Moon shoe got its name from the resemblance between the impression that the waffle pattern left in dirt and the famous tracks left on the moon by astronauts in 1969. And this pair of shoe was hand cobbled by one of Nike's first employees. Super cool. I think, I don't know if I would spend 200 grand on this pair of shoes, but it's currently on, and if you guys want to buy it, it's still available.
That's a lot of money. Like, that's like I don't know, that's a house. But
Yeah.
It's handmade, right? So, and it's like the original shoe, right? Basically.
Pretty much. Yep. That's right. And this next one, Marina, do you want to go over this?
Yeah, I thought this was interesting. So Gucci has a vintage lookalike shoe that they are selling for about $900. It's not vintage, but the way they made the shoe is they took the shoe that was from the 70s and they like kind of scuffed it up. They made the sole yellow. Usually I remember like I had a bunch of vintage shoes and the sole was yellow and I just got rid of them because the sole was yellow. But Gucci, on purpose, they made the sole yellow so it can look so vintage. This is called the Cruise Collection from 2019. It references old school shapes and materials inspired by vintage sportwear. It's green with red, and it's influenced by classic trainers from the 70s. These sneakers mix leather with original Gucci canvas featuring the web stripe and the Gucci vintage logo. So they're treated, that's what they call it, for an all over distressed effect. That's just unbelievable. But you know what? It's not very different from like wearing normal jeans and wearing distressed jeans with all these rips. Won't you agree? And like, you know, people pay a lot of money for distressed clothing. So it's not that different. It's just now the trend is going into the shoes.
So how do you know when these shoes are old?
That's the whole point, is that you don't know, right? They don't want you to know. That's like the thing.
Oh my God. This is a little bit insane. I would not buy this pair of shoes, but I'm sure people would have an appreciation of this pair.
Yeah, but if you think about it, like given like we were just talking about vintage shoes and how much money they go for, these are much cheaper than probably if you found an original from the 70s.
Yeah.
It's a deal.
Oh my God.
So Ely said, amazing info. Thank you so much, Ely. We appreciate that.
Hi, Ellie. Thanks for joining
to our channel and for joining us this evening. We appreciate you. Believe Ely was one of the recent winners. We got your coffee order all settled with today, so it should be going out in a couple of days. So yeah, we do giveaways sometimes. Give us a follow on Instagram if you're not following us. We're just Flipping Gals on there. No the. We used to be the, but not anymore. And Duncan said, are you using USPS to ship everything? Have you looked at courier rates for some of the bulky large items? Maybe you can find better rates. So thank you so much, Duncan. Michelle Duncan's been giving a lot of advice for shipping on the eBay store. And that is Michelle's realm, but I'm happy to help you, Michelle. Any way I can help, let me know, because I know you have 550 items on eBay to consider. And to provide accurate and free shipping, I would imagine, Duncan, we have to account for the size of the item and the weight and the size of the package before we could provide a quote, right? Otherwise, we're going to lose money. But thank you guys so much for joining us today. Bill, it was really nice to have you. Sorry I wasn't here for a long time, but we will be back on Thursday, and we're actually going to be interviewing a Poshmark reseller, and she also just started her own online fashion brand, and she actually is from Canada, so that's going to be exciting. And hopefully you guys can join us on Thursday as well at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. And let us know what you guys think about the new format. It's only twice a week now. I miss doing every day, but it allows us to do a little bit more work on the business. And it's still, bringing you the same stuff, just kind of like all packed in a one episode here. So hopefully everyone has a wonderful rest of your nights. We really, really appreciate you for being here tonight. Michelle, is there anything you'd like to say?
No, I just want to thank everyone for joining. Duncan, thanks for your tips. This is why we appreciate the reselling community, is that we do share our knowledge with each other. So we're going to look at the return policy and the shipping and see how we could, get some sales on eBay.
Yeah, we really do need to, because, our eBay store is suffering. Duncan pegged us right. So we really do need to get on that a little bit more. People only sell on eBay. I think, Duncan, I'm not sure if you sell elsewhere, but you can make a lot of money on there. So we appreciate you, Duncan, for the advice. Thank you, Bill, for staying here with us tonight. We appreciate you. And thank you, Illy, again, for subscribing to our channel. We appreciate you for being here also, and everyone else who had to go. And we'll be back Thursday. So have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your evening. Stay safe and healthy, and we'll see you guys then. Have a wonderful night.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.